Welcome to Winners, Wallets, and Worldviews, the only show that's going to teach you
how to be somebody.
Where in your life did you learn that you're not good enough?
Take what you're most passionate about and what you're most fearful of, and what is the plan to overcome that fear, and what is the plan to enact that passion.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Winners, Wallets, and Worldviews. I am your host, AJ Armstrong. You can follow me on Instagram at AaronArmstrong33. That's AaronArmstrong33. Or you can always go to my website, AaronJArmstrong.com, and we can certainly connect there. So, guys, we've been on the road for a few weeks here and finally getting back into the swing of things back home. Apologize for not staying totally connected with you, but we are going to be cranking out a bunch of episodes. Got a whole bunch of cool guests coming on in the coming weeks. Just some people I actually met while I was on the road, and also some future guests as we are partnering with another podcast agency so we can get some really cool different outlooks on things and on life. So what I wanted to talk about a little bit today was just how much free value there is places that you might not even think about. So because I'm in this space and, I'm one of the people that is consistently marketing content or courses or events or all these different things to you all, I've just started to notice how much great free content there actually is out there. Well, not that I didn't notice it before, but that you'd be surprised at what people are giving away for free that haven't necessarily established themselves as experts in the space. And, it came upon me when Marissa and I were driving back. And for those of you that follow Rachel Hollis is a really impressive woman. She's a best-selling author, a motivator. She's got a marketing company, the Hollis Co., and she just does a lot of really cool, influential things. And she sold out a stadium full of people at her business conference. There was like 7,000 people there and just had an awesome killer lineup. And it was just totally crushing it, right? And Marissa's like, oh my, she was asking me, she's like, do you want to go to this event? And I didn't want to go to the event, and she's kind of asked me why, and I didn't really think about it. So I tried to put together why I said no. And the reason that I decided I didn't want to go to this incredible event with this like lineup, I'm talking like power lineup, right? Like Ed Milet, they had like just really cool influencers in the motivational arena, and it was a business conference. And I said, well, the thing is, I don't really want to get cookie cutter business advice. Like I'm kind of past that point where I don't need to, some people who are just kind of like understanding that they could become entrepreneurs and they can create their own path. It's helpful for them, but I need someone that's going to give me the exact thing I need to do to kind of get through my particular block or hurdle. So I always tell people that when you're slowing down in your life, there's usually two things that are blocking you. Number one is fear. And we talk about that on the show all the time. There's fear of just breaking through to the next level. There's fear of like, I don't know if I'm ready for this yet, and I just don't know if I can get to that next level. And there's something mentally blocking you. But to be fair, that's not the only thing that's stopping you. Sometimes it is just a knowledge gap, right? Sometimes it's like, I have no problem going balls to the wall, moving to the next level, getting where I need to go. But I just don't know exactly what is going to get me there. What do I need to do? And how do I need to learn it? So for those people that are, I'm kind of at that point where it's like, I don't have a lot of fears stopping me. I mean, I work through my own shit. Yeah, I got plenty of things that are kind of slowing me down. But, usually what's slowing me down is more of a knowledge gap. It's like, I don't know if I know exactly what I need to do here. So my mind goes into solution mode. And, we ask ourselves empowering questions. It says, okay, so I don't know if I know what I need to do here. How do I get there? Who do I need to talk to get there? Who do I need to pay to get there? Where am I going to find this kind of knowledge and information? Not at a giant business conference. The place I would probably go are micro conferences. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Micro podcasts, micro conferences. If you want to find like super niche things, right? So for example, I'm trying to get into the real estate development space. More specifically, I want to be syndicators for large deals. I've gone through the whole rodeo of understanding I can make money investing in real estate. I understand that. I understand that I can buy multifamilies and make money. I understand I can flip properties and make money. Okay. But I don't know a lot of, if for someone that's really trying to pursue serious wealth, I'm talking about serious wealth. I don't know a lot of people flipping houses that are seriously wealthy. I know people that are wealthy, they'll become millionaires, but you're not going to have like a private jet flipping houses. You will have a private jet becoming a real estate syndicator. So how do you actually pull all this stuff together and learn what you got to do to make these deals work? I tried doing this, I jumped all in. I tried doing this thing a while ago. I lost my ass. So now it's like, okay, I'm a little gun shy. Where do I got to pull the right knowledge and the right people together? You start to find out there's like YouTube channels, podcasts of like super specific things. Like there's like whole podcasts on real estate syndications, right? And just total podcasts on just how to solicit investors. There's full podcasts on how you can utilize this exact software to the best of its capability that's going to manage all of your investments, right? And it's just like, that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for at this point in my business. And I wanted to like show this to you guys that, you don't necessarily need the broad paintbrush. Sometimes you know exactly what you need and you got to just go for exactly what you need. And don't underestimate the value of this stuff. So a lot of these people, like, Rachel Hollis is a phenomenal motivator, but she's not an expert real estate syndicator. She's an expert promoter for an event. And that happens with a lot of these large events. The people that actually go, that can get 7,000 people into an event, are professional promoters. They're not necessarily expert business coaches. Let's get that straight, people. They're not necessarily expert business coaches. They might have built a business and they might have tons of valuable knowledge and experience and learnings that can apply to a broad range of people with different business backgrounds. But they are experts at promoting. That's why you're going to these big events. I want to work with someone that doesn't know anything about promoting or running an event, but just knows a shitload about a real estate syndication or whatever your particular business venture is. Super detailed, because they're making more money doing that than they ever will at an event. And I mean, I'm talking to dudes that were just like consistently, that's the event I was speaking at in November at our West Point community. I'm talking to people that are just consistently crushing 7 to 8 figure deals. Just consistently. That's just a part of the business. Just consistently crushing 7, 8 figure deals with, anywhere between 3 to 5 employees. Like, not just these. I mean, this is what I wanted to learn. These are the types of things that I wanted to learn. And then when you ask them to come up on stage, they're not professional speakers. They're not professional motivators. They're just real freaking dudes giving you 100% of the knowledge that they had, because they're not marketing a course. They're not marketing some kind of program. They're not marketing some kind of event. They are honestly just telling you what they do, because they're like, why would I market any of this stuff? I can make way more money in the real estate arena doing this than just promoting it to people. And those are the people that I want to connect with. So that was my long answer to when Marissa says, why don't you want to go to this event with 7,000 people? It's because I don't want to listen to expert promoters in business. I want to listen to people that are experts in business. And the thing is, it's not necessarily that these people are just like super hard to find, but they're going to small conferences and they're producing very small podcasts. That's what I'm talking about. Micro events and micro podcasts. I'll give you another example. Marissa and I went a little while ago to an event that was in Indianapolis. And the event was all just how you can build a business for fitness business owners. It was almost exclusively business or fitness business owners. And there was tons of just great, valuable content for virtually nothing. It was virtually nothing, because these people are fitness business owners. They're not necessarily promoters. They're not necessarily motivators and speakers. So as you guys start to evaluate where you want to go, the larger the event you're going to, you just got to understand the broader the message you're going to get. And if you're trying to, for example, one of my clients is just totally on board with his personal development journey knows he needs to like work on these certain things, knows he needs to start taking some risks, but his wife is not on board. Those big events are great for pulling people like that in, like totally to wake them up, to show them that they're made for more. Those types of big events are great for that. And it's like maybe someone that wants to start a business that might not know where to go or know what to start and just like is afraid. Those events are designed to break through fear for the most part. But not me. I want to go. I'm pretty good with managing my fear. I've done a lot of inner work on that. I want to know the technicalities. I want to know the how-tos. I want to know the business insights. I want to know exactly how your spreadsheet's set up, what percentage you're guaranteeing to who, how that looks. That's what I want to know. And some people that are listening to this show right now want that level of fidelity in their coaching. And that's where when I talk about evaluating coaches, you want to evaluate a coach on two things. Number one, and this is the style you toggle between, I call it soft coaching and hard coaching. You know, soft coaching is more of the fear base. It's the mindset. It's like, what's going on in your life? Let's settle down. And sometimes that applies. And then sometimes people just want hard coaching. They just want to know, just tell me exactly what I got to do. Just tell me exactly the steps I need to take in my business. Give me a roadmap. And sometimes that's not the worst in the world. And I find that a lot of coaches are just one or the other. But a good life coach, a good business coach should be able to toggle between the two depending on what your client needs are. And I just wanted to share with you the amount of value that you can get from these micro events and micro podcasts. I mean, think about this, right? When someone's starting out a podcast, we kind of know the formula for a good podcast. And that's just like, let's deliver value. Let's deliver a lot of value. So you have people in this business world that have just tons and tons of business knowledge coming out trying to establish a market in the personal branding space. And they're saying, how can I deliver a ton of value so that I can start to build up my following? They're honestly giving away all of their secrets completely for free. I mean, most of my secrets are all on these podcasts. Like there's all the secrets are being given away for free. Because a lot of times these guys don't necessarily know how to hold back the good stuff yet. They're just trying to build up their following. So they're just giving them all the trade secrets that they need to know. And the thing is, most people will never listen to their shows because they have 100 listeners. They have 50 views on YouTube. They have 25 downloads on iTunes. They have no reviews on iTunes. So people get so caught up in this cognitive bias of social proof that they wait until they have a big following or they wait until they have all this knowledge and they're disregarding the actual substance of the value that they're delivering. They're disregarding that actual knowledge because they're getting so caught up in the cognitive bias. They're like, oh, well, 200,000 people aren't listening to this. That means it's not valuable. Dude, I'm telling you, the most valuable stuff is buried in some of these 5 to 6 view YouTube shows. I just listened to a show and it had, I think the guy had 600 views on YouTube and went through a step-by-step playbook of how to conduct a real estate syndication, the exact values that he structures in his deals, absolutely everything you would need to know to get started as a real estate syndicator. And it was just completely free right there on YouTube. Nobody's commenting on it. Nobody's watching. I go look at the podcast. It's not that popular of a podcast, but I'm telling you, I'm taking my mouth is drooling. I am like licking my chops at this free value. People would pay thousands of dollars to listen to a Grant Cardone course on how to do a real estate deal, where it's going to be much more vague, much more high level, not the amount of detail that you're getting. And this guy's completely free right there on YouTube. It's just everything in the world out there that you really need to know is free. And it takes a lot of work to dig that up. And I think that's really the value of why you can hire a coach, is because you don't necessarily have to do all that research yourself. You don't necessarily have to like go dig up all these different places or whatever. You can kind of go to your coach and they can walk through this stuff with you. And all that knowledge that they went through researching and digging, they can give that to you. That's probably one of the value props for hiring a coach. But I'm just trying to tell you guys, like, you don't necessarily need to go spend all this money to some coach that's going to give you some kind of vague advice. If you need that vague advice, That's why you want to work with that kind of coach. You want that soft coaching. But if you're looking for like hard coach, this stuff is all out there for free. And there's also events locally that go through all this stuff. My buddies that run the real estate association in Wisconsin here, there's all sorts of just gold that you're getting by going to some of these. That you're going to pay 5 times as much if you try to Google a course and try to go pay for a course. You don't need to buy the course. Stop buying the course. And the courses that you're seeing are only visible because there's a bazillion things on Google. There's just so many damn things on Google that the only courses that rise to the top are people that are really expert marketers. They're experts in SEO. They're experts in getting their reach extended. So if you're looking for marketing content, then that would make sense because the best of the best are the ones that are actually reaching you. But if you're looking for something totally related, like if you want to understand how to create the best camera angles in photography, you're probably going to find there is so much golden content out there with virtually no views. And you could probably call up the dude that made that video completely for free, just ask him some questions and rock and roll. That's the value here of these micro events and micro podcasts. These events too, guys, like having small intimate events allows you to ask questions, allows you to like work with someone one-on-one, allows you to do all this kind of stuff. And you're also like you're with these up and coming personal branders. They're not necessarily branded up the ass yet to where they've got a whole business structure in place to where they can only release a certain amount of value. They're going to give you all the trade secrets in an attempt to build credibility with you. So you're going to get all the knowledge you need from these different events and these different micro podcasts. So I wanted to just jump on and talk about that because it's been I would say 90% of my information comes from this kind of stuff. Comes from just like going through YouTube. So I have a YouTube premium subscription, mostly for that reason, so that I do the same thing with music. I don't like the mainstream music as much. I like garage bands, cover bands, stuff like that, right? And sometimes they only have 50 to 100 views. Just phenomenal musicians. And that that's why I listen to music on YouTube Premium. I don't listen to music on like Spotify or Pandora or whatever the hell it is. I listen to YouTube Premium because I can get access to real talent for virtually no money. I think that's what you want to look at. You're trying to evaluate. Like, you guys got to think. The internet right now, it's just like all the talent is out there. And you're this like producer. You're like, I want to find the up and coming great talent that doesn't cost any money. That's what people that discover musicians and pop stars and rock stars and all this stuff and actors. That's what a production company is trying to do. That's what some of the phenomenal casting agents are trying to do. They're trying to find great talent for a low price. And you can just do the same thing with your business information. You want to find this great talent for a very low price. So like right now, right? Like I'm not very established in the space. Some of the stuff I give out is just total gold. It's just like, this is stuff that you would have to pay a lot of other people a ton of money for. This is stuff I've had to pay money myself to learn. This is stuff that other business coaches wouldn't even touch because it's just too much. But it's just like, I'm just going to give all that shit out there because I'm trying to build a personal brand, right? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not hiding any of this shit. I'm trying to build a personal brand. This isn't my major source of revenue. In fact, I've made it an adamant point to myself that I am not going to make my major revenue source coaching, because it makes no sense to me to have somebody that just teaches you how to make money by teaching other people how to make money, and then they teach other people how to make money by the same way that they were taught how to make money. And it's just this pyramid scheme of coaching. Absolutely not. I want to just make sure that people who are not as far along in the personal growth and business journey have access to a resource that can give them the same amount of knowledge that I've acquired. There are people that are beyond me, far beyond me in their business journey and understanding of themselves. That's probably not the right client to be working with me. Even though I think that there's always different perspectives and stuff, but it's just like, I'm just here to offer that service as another way of creating revenue. That will never be my main revenue stream. This podcast is not my main revenue stream. This is a way of just communicating all this knowledge to you guys so that you can develop a relationship with me over time and that you can share my stuff and we can continue to just help each other out. That's really all this is. It's not my main revenue stream. And I think it's like when it's a main revenue stream is creating courses or creating content and whatever. And it's just like, I've seen so many coaches, very successful coaches. I'm talking about 6 figures, high 6 figures, like close to $1 million earners a year in just the coaching space that are turning like clients away. I mean, they're not turning clients away, but the clients are actually leaving. They're not happy with the results they're getting for that exact reason. It's so soft. It's too much soft coaching, not enough hard coaching. And when you get into hard coaching, the value can be much higher, but you're also turning off a lot larger audience. I mean, when I talk about real estate syndication, some of you guys don't even know what that is. You're not even interested. You will like hear real estate investing numbers, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like immediately shut off. You know, it's just kind of like, but that's because it's a very specific thing. So if I told you that was the kind of coach I was, I'd be shutting off a large audience and a huge opportunity, which I don't necessarily know if I care. Like I can help people develop a fitness business. I can help people, a lot of people in the creative businesses, photography, videography. You know, we've built some really established processes and systems there. I'm a systems engineer by trade. I can help you optimize, automate processes within your business. I've got a leadership background. If there's like teams, structure, one-on-one coaching, those are kind of the things I can help a lot with. But when you're talking to me about something that I know nothing about, and I'm exclusively going to be doing soft coaching, you just need to understand that soft coaching is your weakness, is your gap. You're getting in your own way. And I think that when people just exclusively do that in their business, it's just never going to be a sustainable model. You got to find other ways to create real value for people. And sometimes people want that soft coaching and they want that ability, but you got to have strategy. And Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. There's 3 things: your story, your state, and your strategy. All 3 of them are equally as important. Your story, I would say that's more of a soft coaching thing. What are you telling yourself? What are your beliefs about yourself? What are your beliefs about your business? Because your beliefs are truly everything. We know this. This is a root cause. So don't think that soft coaching is worse or better. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that soft coaching is one aspect of this. It's your story. Your story. What are you telling yourself? What are the beliefs you have? How do we get rid of that shit so we can get you into movement? Let's say your story is solid. We're looking at your state. Your state is your physiology. Your state is how you handle yourself, how you can override your natural emotions by controlling them. You get angry and you can remember something that calms yourself down, or you're sad and you can remember something that increases your happiness, right? That's controlling your state and using your body and movement to do that. Marissa and I have been just doing a ton of research and a ton of work with our clients, both of them, on this subject. How you can use your physiology to improve your psychology. And that's like what this St. Lucia excursion is really about too. It's about like how we can combine that physiology into your psychology to create optimal results. And that's still kind of soft coaching. In a way, it's bringing movement into it. So if you want to know the right kind of movements, there's technical skills there, right? So there's exercises, there's knowledge that you're going to have to learn how you can do this, how your physiology interacts, how your psychology interacts. Those things are starting to get a lot harder, a little harder skills. But then there's your strategy. And this is unique to everybody. And like, you know, the way I kind of think of it is I want to have 3 different coaches, right? I almost want to have like a soft coach, a hard coach, and then a body coach, right? A physiology coach. And that's just kind of how I think of it. But a lot of you guys can't like necessarily afford that, or you don't know if you want to get into the coaching space or whatever. So you want to understand that, can I get a coach that can go with both? That can help me with both. So I would look first at like a hard coach, and then I would say, this hard coach also understands personal growth and development and help enough to be able to get me there. That's just how I do things, right? I want to have 3. I want to have 3 people I can go to. And it doesn't need to be a coach. It can be a mentor. It can be someone in your family. It can be somebody that helps. You know, whatever that looks like. But you want to have people you can go to in all those different aspects. And when you're starting to get into this space of, I'm ready to purchase a course, I'm ready to go to an event, understand the result you're looking for. Understand the result you're looking for. If I'm looking to just get another fire in me and get sparked and get motivated, I'm going to go to a big event where I'm around a ton of people and I have a lineup of people that I know are going to motivate me. but it's like, I'm ready to go. I just need to know these certain things. Then I want to go to micro events because they're virtually free or sometimes completely free. And you can get a ton of good information and you can network with people locally, or you can meet with the speakers, you can talk to them, you can set up calls with them, you can actually get their business cards. They don't have like a team of security around them, all that crap. And you can actually work with them and you can actually do deals with them. So it's like these micro events, like if you're crushed on the budget, and that's one of the beliefs I just want to get out of everybody's freaking head, is that you need money to do all this stuff. You don't need to have the $1,500 to go to Tony Robbins, or you don't need to have the $1,200 to go to Grant Cardone. You don't need that kind of money. You might just need $7 to go to a local real estate investment group. And then, like I said, go find the freaking alpha, who's in charge, who's running that group, who knows everything, who's sponsoring the group, and talk to them and just network. Just network your way to the top and nurture your network. Nurture that network. Reach back out to people, do some follow-ups, circle back with them, right? This is all free shit. This is all completely free shit you guys can do. And looking at the podcasts. Don't just go for the freaking top 5 podcasts with the Olympic athlete that, broke both of their legs and then all of a sudden they fell into depression and got hooked on cocaine and then grew up in the ghetto of Chicago and eventually rose back to stardom and decided to make a $10 million business. Those are incredible stories, and I don't want to discredit those stories, but sometimes those podcasts are motivational, but they're not going to teach you how you can launch your photography business and make $10,000 every month running a photography business. I mean, some of the aspects might apply to you, like mindset, perseverance, accountability. But I mean, if you just want to know okay, what lens do you use, what camera, how much do I need to get started? How much should I be charging my clients for this kind of, they're not going to answer those questions, but there's probably a ton of free crap out on YouTube. So just don't fall into the social proof dilemma. So I need to follow people that have a ton of followers, or I need to listen to a podcast that has a bunch of listeners, or I can only read this book if it's a New York Times bestseller, because if not, it's not really worth it. No, books are great resources as well. There was a real estate book I read that I called this guy when I was trying to get a development deal put together for a subdivision. And I call him up and he sends me over his free book as he was he's like a 75-year-old man, but he did subdivision development. Sends me over this book. It's called Prefurbia. And I read it and it was just complete gold. This is innovation beyond your belief and how you want to structure a subdivision to create the optimal amount of lots, the optimal amount of views for all this different stuff. It's just complete gold. And this is a free book. And this guy, he doesn't even sell it really. It's probably $1 on Amazon. I don't even know, but he gave it to me. And I was just that's the kind of stuff that's worth so much more money sometimes. Or just being able to ask 2 questions makes it all worth it. Just 2 questions to the speaker, right? And you're not going to get that at these big events. And you got to just think micro books, dude. People are trying to publish all their stuff to build these personal brands, and it's so noisy out there. And there's so much competition for attention that people are going to give you. They're going to be putting their A game out there because they need to compete with all the attention. So these people just trying to break into the space are putting out absolute gold. And people take advantage of it. It's not always going to be like this. They're not always going to be people trying. The industry is going to shift and move around, and social media is going to change and all this stuff. Take advantage of it. People are putting out gold. This Personal Growth Ventures book that I was talking about on my last couple podcasts, it's 100% free. This freaking book, I'm telling you guys, is absolutely, I could sell this book. And this is how I go through things with my clients. This is how I go through stuff at some of my events. Now, my actual event in St. Lucia is going to be beefed up a lot. There's going to be a lot more in it. But right there, these exercises that you're going through, the stuff that you're learning, the stuff we talk about, all those graphics, everything's in this book. And it's free. I'm giving it away for free. Why buy a course? Why buy a book when this is completely free? What's the catch? The catch is you give me your email. And the reason you give me your email is because I can continue to deliver free, great content to you, great motivational quotes, all my podcasts right to your freaking email. And then if you guys want to stay connected, that's all that I'm asking for. I'm going to be completely blunt about it, right? It's like in exchange for an email, you get a free freaking book that's almost 60 pages long. It's got all these awesome graphics and tools. It goes over how you can market your small business. If you're not sure if you want to start a business or you don't know what you want to do, it's all in the book. Go walks through the steps, has you answer all your questions. I just had a woman reach out to me this week, and she is trying to market courses and stuff like that. And I said, okay, well, who's your target market? Who's your client? Who's your ideal client? Ooh, I haven't really thought about that yet. Well, who are you going to market to? We're so backwards. Well, I want to make money, and I have this thing I want to make money, and I want people to buy it. That's not how this works. People have problems, and then they want to buy things to solve their problems. So let's think about the problems and think about who has that problem, and then we can come up with a solution. So often people come up with a solution to something that nobody asked for, and then they just try to cram it down your throat. That's not how this works. This book goes through that, and it's completely freaking free. But that's what I'm getting at, guys. You don't got to go buy all this stuff. You don't got to go buy the courses. You don't got to go buy if you don't want to even come to St. Lucia and you buy this book, you'll at least have a good start on what we kind of talked about. I mean, it won't be as fun. You're not going to be at the beach and having cocktails and climbing up mountains and scuba diving and all that, or snorkeling, and all that fun stuff. But I mean, you'll at least have some of the content, right? You'll have a good idea what we went over. But I mean, this is just the thing. There's all sorts of influencers out there doing the same thing, just giving out gold for free. And there's people that are up and coming influencers, like that, like little micro market. Like they might have 2,000 followers on like Instagram. They're not really quite influencers yet, but they're getting there. That are giving out gold, just gold. So go find those people. You're like this freaking producer trying to discover a new star. That's what you're trying to do. And it's gold. So don't just get distracted by all the big names, the fancy titles, the fancy events, the amount of people that are going to pay to go see something, the best-selling titles, the prizes, all that stuff. That's great. You can read some of that. But I'm telling you, you can get free shit out there in this time. And this is not the time to, it's not always going to be like this. It's not always going to be like this. So that's really what it is, guys. Get out there, find some micro pods, like just find someone you connect with. Go on YouTube and just find some viewers, like listen to the bands that don't have all this freaking following, but are just up and coming. Like there's so much talent out there. It's just not even funny. And this is the time to do it. This is the time to find it. You got access to all those resources, especially with YouTube and podcasts, right? Because they're not just totally enamored by search engine optimization yet. Where if you want to Google something, it becomes a lot harder to find. But you can get just technical, super niche value if you're starting to spin your wheels. So remember that. Identify where you're at in your journey. Are you stuck because of some type of fear that's blocking you? Like you're getting in your own way? Or are you stuck because there's just some kind of knowledge gap? You just don't necessarily know where you need to go. And if you don't know where you need to go, you say, well, I don't know what I need to do next. Well, then I'd say that's still a fear problem. Like you should say, I know I need to go here, but in order to go here, I need to have this kind of knowledge. Okay, now you're ready for like hard coaching, right? So that's kind of a way to think about it, if that helps. It's like, well, I don't know where I need to go. I don't know what I need to do. It's like, you might need some soft coaching to help you like narrow down on exactly what you need to do. And then when you get like, okay, I need to do this, this, and that, but I just don't know exactly how I could market that or how I could do this or that. Okay, now you need some hard coaching, right? So you want to like zoom in on something very specific, and then you can go to get micro pods and micro events to just get, I'm telling you, absolute gold. Stuff that's going to save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when you start paying attention to people that nobody else is paying attention to. It's everywhere. Even people you can like get on your podcasts or you can interview. They're just very reachable. It's not everybody's some kind of celebrity in the space. And it just becomes very easy during this time to have someone that's perceived as like a celebrity or some kind of influencer that isn't touchable, isn't reachable, because that's part of their business model. Is they don't want to give you all the gold nuggets. They want to give you the silver and the bronze shit when they're saving the gold for premium, top notch. You got to buy this one to get this. Nah, man. You can get that stuff from other people. So just want to hop on, let you guys know that. Short one today. we got some awesome guests coming on in the next couple months. So stick with us, subscribe, like, comment. If you could do anything, that goes such a long way for me, because like I said, not a lot of people think like you guys, or like how we talked about. A lot of times people just look at the amount of reviews you have and how many downloads, how many followers, and all this other crap, and then they think that's what true value is, when we all know that's just completely false. But sometimes that's what it takes to get someone in the door and then start to enlighten them from there. I always tell Marissa that we always talk about that as the top of the funnel. It's like, how are we going to reach people that don't necessarily critically think? How are we going to reach people that don't necessarily, understand the level of depth that we talk to? We need to create something shallow, so at least we can get them in the door, and then we can start to enlighten, right? So when you guys like and comment and share and give me feedback or give me reviews, that goes a huge, huge distance, because we're able to reach a new demographic of people, or we're able to reach a new type of person that might not have been reachable before, because they're expecting, something to fall in their lap, right? So we really appreciate that, guys. So thanks a lot. Just want to thank you all for listening to this show. You guys are absolutely wonderful. We've been doing so well with this podcast, and that's why I want to keep this thing going, is because it's been, such a reward for me. It's helped me, brand myself, brand my influence, and it allows me to continue to deliver, I think, messages that ought to be heard for other people out there. So with that said, folks, thank you so much for listening. This is Winners, Wallets, and Worldviews. I'm your host, AJ Armstrong. You can follow me at Aaron Armstrong33 on Instagram, or you can go to my website, aaronjarmstrong.com. And please go ahead and check out our group as well we have on Facebook. We're trying to get started. You guys know that Facebook's moving their algorithms all around. They're pushing people, that they want people to engage with groups. And we have a lot of really cool content that we're trying to play with. But we want to get a group established here on Facebook. So there's a Winners, Wallets, Worldviews Facebook group. Go ahead, request access. I'll approve it. And we can start to interact and share incredible information and mastermind a little bit right there for free. And that's really what this is all about. Just like the micro pods, micro events. Don't pay to go in groups. Don't pay to go into courses and all that stuff. Just join our freaking Facebook group. It's completely free. I'm the admin. I control everything. I run it. And we can continue to interact and mastermind on that platform. So with that said, folks, thank you so much. Go be somebody. What's up, everybody? This is your host, AJ Armstrong. You can follow me on Instagram at Aaron Armstrong33. That's Aaron Armstrong33. Or you can go to my website, aaronjarmstrong.com. Thanks so much for listening through to the end. I wanted to also introduce you guys to our Facebook community. So you can go to Winners, Wallets, Worldviews on Facebook, and it's a group where we can offer, different opportunities for you guys to ask questions. If you have a Q&A or something in your business or a challenge in your life that you want to bring up, that's the community to ask it. And then I can also share that with all of our listeners on our social media platforms. The final thing I wanted to share with you guys is something that Marissa and I have been so excited for. It's been really chomping at me to freaking tell you guys. And it's our Personal Growth Ventures Retreat. So our Personal Growth Ventures Retreat is going to be located on the island of St. Lucia. It's going to be a business seminar combined with personal growth and development. And we're also adding in something nobody else has ever done in a seminar that I have heard of. And that's fitness and adventure. So these are the things that are going to help push us to our limits. It's going to help us break through our fears. And these adventures are going to be one of a kind. If you want to find out more about what our adventures entail, what's going to be involved in the education session, and where this is all going to be happening and when, you can go to our website, personalgrowthventures.com. That's personalgrowthventures.com. It's also going to be located in the show notes. So with that said, guys, thanks so much for listening through to the end. Once again, go be somebody.